What is happening, guys? Hope we're good. So welcome back to another video. Today we're going to run through the fundamentals of goal setting moving into 2024. We're in that kind of weird in-between phase of the year. Christmas is being and gone. The new year is coming up. Today is like the 28th or something. I don't even know what day it is. No, to be quite honest with you, it's the 28th, and I thought I'd take a little minute today to jump on and do a little screen share and run you through a process that I've been using over the last couple of years to set intentions, set goals, and get really clear on where I want to be moving into the following year. And this is something I always do during this very kind of strange, reflective period of time when you don't really know what to do with yourself. I've still been training, I've still been ticking boxes, but I've kind of shaken the crumbs off the carpet, so to speak, when it comes to getting the Christmas and Boxing Day gluttony and relaxation out my system. So I'm kind of like chapping at the bit to do something, and I thought today would be a phenomenal day to just jump on and run through a basic framework in which I tend to use. So we'll get stuck into it. Goal setting in 2024. Goal setting. Boom. And guys, please excuse my handwriting, it's not the best, but we'll crack on. And 24. Boom. There we go. So you've got two versions of yourself, and this is one thing we need to consider. Right now, you might not be where you want to be, and the person you want to be might feel so far away from where you're currently at that might actually overwhelm you. But that's fine, that's fine. So you've got to realise you've got your 1.0 version of yourself, and we want to try to get to your 2.0 version of yourself. We'll put that there just for any of you people that need as much clarification. Two versions of people. Because I said people there, I'm going to remove that version of self. There we go. But you've got two versions of yourself, right? And the person you are right now, okay, let's say you're not fully happy. You might not have the body you want. You know, you might be carrying a little bit too much body fat. And then over on this side of the pond, you're this strong, ripped, happy. This is me trying to do muscles. We'll call these wee circles muscles. And you might have this V-taper and amazing legs and just be absolutely jacked and just winning, just being the very best version of yourself, right? You've got these two guys, okay? And that's what we need to consider first and foremost. And for you guys to be able to actually step in and become the 2.0 version of yourself, there is simple framework, simple tactics, habits, strategies in which we're going to run through to actually achieve what you're looking for this year. And that's one of the most important things. It's actually about not just setting all these random goals and, you know, falling on your face the minute you get into January because you've taken these 2 weeks off and, you know, gained 10, 15 pounds, drank every single day, your week and sleep schedule's been all over the place, and you just feel like a, you know, dumpster fire going into the new year. I don't want that to be the case. I want you guys to be able to actually take a moment, set your intentions, breathe into the space in which you're now giving yourself, and actually allow some proper good quality thoughts to be made when it comes to setting your own individual goals, because this is where a lot of people tend to struggle. So 2024 is the time to step into your 2.0 self and really show up as the person you would be proud of being. That is a statement that you really want to consider. Be proud of being. Like, just take a moment and think about that for a second. Who would you actually be proud of being? Because right now, reflect over the last, you know, year you've just had. You might have had some wins, you might have had some losses, whatever they may be. Think about that for a little second before we move any further. Because if you can understand your shortcomings, where you know, fell behind on and didn't really achieve the very best outcomes with, then there are areas in which maybe you can just renounce completely and say, you know what, didn't work for me, I'm not going to do them. Or there are areas that we want to, you know, turn from weaknesses into strengths going into this year ahead. But one of the things that we need to consider first and foremost is that I'm going to actually take these little bracelets off so they're not chinking about. But there's 9 sub settings, okay? 9 sub sections that we need to understand, and I'm going to colour this in, let's say red. 9 subsections. Okay, we all know we love visuals, right? And when you colour things in, people love it. Okay, so 9 subsections. Okay, and pardon me, still a little bit ill off the back of my throat infection over the Christmas period, but these 9 subsections are going to allow you a hell of a lot of clarity behind how goal setting can actually come to fruition if done properly. So first and foremost, you've got goals, okay? That's number 1. The clearer and more compact these goals are, the better you will feel and be when it comes to actually achieving them. You don't want big airy, fairy, fluffy, random goals that are just pie in the sky. Yeah, it's good to set big, long-term pie in the sky goals. I completely get that. But you want your goals to be tight, compact and concise so you actually have clear-cut accuracy when aiming at them. Number 2, you've got standards. Okay, these are super important. Standards, these need to essentially be established so you can actually measure the quality and quantity of how consistent you are with a certain amount of established habits. When you hear a lot of people say, I've got good standards, I get that, but what does that really mean? Like, your standards are like the habits in which you have and how good you are consistently hitting them. Let's say it's your daily step goal, a certain hydration goal, a certain amount of times that you enter the gym per week and actually command a good workout. Could be nutritional standards, like I will not eat over 20% of processed foods in my diet, that 80% of my diet is natural, whole, nutrient dense foods, things like that, okay? Number 3, we have protocols. Okay, what the protocols are, this is the official procedure in which you follow to attain the result or the goal. So if you've got a protocol in place, this is like the strategy, the game plan, the thing in which you follow day in, day out to actually achieve the result in which you're looking for. So without protocols, you don't really have an official procedure. This could be like a wake-up time, a supplementation panel, a certain way you conduct your workouts through a warm-up routine, a cool-down routine, a certain set and rep range, a certain kind of structure to follow through with when it comes to, you know, dialing in and hitting the targets in which you now want to hit. Then we will now also have, pardon me, goodness gracious, values. And this is one thing I want to kind of get you guys really clear on. Like, the hardest thing about values is helping people understand the value of having values. Bit of a tongue twister, but pardon me. Values essentially will determine the priorities in which you have and how you act, how you hold yourself. And when you act in alignment with your values, life is usually pretty good. So if you say you value your health, but every single day you binge in your diet, you skip training sessions and you sleep in, you don't obviously value your health. So that will make you feel like a lesser version of yourself. That will make you feel pretty poor, pretty sad within your own existence because you're not acting in alignment. So values are super important. So get very, very clear on what your values actually are. And that'll make things a hell of a lot easier for you to follow through upon. Just going to take a wee hydration break. Lovely. So, next thing, algorithms. Spell this right. Algorithms, okay? This is essentially like the repetition of operations to solve the problem. Algorithms in terms of, like, you know, stats, graphs, social media, SOPs, all this kind of stuff. We don't want to think that way. We want to think algorithms in your very own life. So repetitions of operations. If you've got certain operational standards in place, certain procedures to follow through on, how consistent you are at repeating that. Okay, how consistent can you actually stick to the plan? Because that's like an algorithm. How long does a certain phase last, and how good are you at following through in that certain phase day in, day out with a high compliance rate? That's what we need to focus on more than anything else. Then, God, my throat is really bad today. We have beliefs. Good or bad, what you believe to be true or not, good or bad, right or wrong. So if you believe to yourself that you are a piece of shit, fat, overweight, unhealthy, then you probably will act in alignment with being fat, out of shape and unhealthy. But if you believe in yourself that you are a lean, strong, savage motherfucker, even before you are that, you will have a higher likelihood in believing yourself and backing yourself and following through in the actions of someone who actually is lean, strong, jacked, athletic, sexy, mobile, essentially just a bad motherfucker, and someone who kicks doors down for breakfast, right? And when it comes to actually setting these beliefs in place, we're going to get into a framework that's allowed me to believe in myself a hell of a lot more. I used to struggle a lot with confidence, a lot with following through in the goals in which I set, or even I would achieve the goals and fall off the back end because I didn't believe that that was the identity I wanted to actually uphold going forward. I thought it was just a game of hit a goal, fall off, hit a goal, fall off. So when you have these deep, well-constructed beliefs in place to back up who you want to be rather than to deter you from who you're trying to be, or keep you complacent in the position you're in, then you will have a higher likelihood in terms of achieving what you're now looking for. The next one up, principles. These are super important. So it's essentially just the basics behind how something will work. God, I really should have had another coffee to clear this throat. But principles, okay? When you actually have the basic principles in place, when it comes down to, let's say, your fitness goals, you've got your macronutrients, your training routine, you've got your habits in place, you've got your wake and sleep schedule. These are just the core principles in which you now need to adhere to essentially just show up and do the work more than anything else. And when the basics are locked in extremely well, it means you can almost remove the need to look at shiny objects, to get almost distracted by other things that are going on in your life, and focus on the basic principles that allow you to show up as the very best version of yourself. The next one up, behaviours. The way in which you act or conduct yourself. Behaviours are probably something that I lean into the most. I always think, am I acting like the person I want to be? I think in frames such as third person, and I like to think like if my clients were watching me right now, would they be inspired by how I now hold myself, how I now behave? If not, why not? And then act in alignment with now where you're trying to go, where you're trying to be, and behave your way to success, okay? Because like, put this in a sense of like inversion thinking, the negative over the positive. You don't just wake up one day with a beer belly and man boobs. You just don't, you behave your way there. You eat too many bags of crisps, too much chocolate, you drink too much, you fall victim to all these negative habits, etc. And that kind of leads the behaviour process to fall into the trap of behaving like someone who is not in shape, not in a good bill of health, mentally or physically. So you behave your way there, and the same goes for success. You behave your way to success through habits, through the algorithms, beliefs, the principles, the protocols, the values, the standards, the goal setting, etc. You behave your way there. And number 9, skills. Okay, everyone thinks just manifest. No, but you need to have the right skills in place. Skills essentially are the particular ability that can be developed through experience and vigorous implementation of training and education. So you need to have the right knowledge to have the skills. You need to have the right experience. You need to be vigorous with your implementation. Otherwise, these skills will not be solidified or be able to be maintained in your very own life. So you've almost got like a ladder of self-belief, okay? And we'll do it this way on the screen. You've got boom, boom, and boom, these things. This is the ladder, okay? You've got skills, you've got beliefs, and you've got will, right? Because a lot of people, believe they can do it, but either lack the skills, but are willing to do the work, but one ladder doesn't exist, okay? But if we remove that, but you've also got other people who have the skills, the beliefs, but they're not willing to do the work. And then we have others that have the belief and the skills, but aren't willing to do the work either. And then, vice versa. You could go around in that triangle for as many iterations it would now take for you to understand that you need all 3 of them to be successful in whatever given path you're now deciding to walk down. So you need all 3, hence why you have this kind of 9-step subsection of actually getting clear on what your goals are, and you need to understand all of those before you actually set your goals. So we'll move on from here. This will be step number 2. Step 2. And we'll colour this in for you guys out there. Alright. And this is more reflective. First, I'm wanting a different colour. Let's go blue. You want to get reflective before you actually get into the meat and veg of this, okay? So, what are you actually proud of in 2023? Okay, what are you proud of in 2023? Ask yourself that question. Get a couple of bullet points. Could be relationships. You might have proposed to your partner. You might have got a new job. Great shape. You might have, dropped the weight, got lean. You might have had a financial goal or something. Could be anything, but literally just take a moment. It can be anything, right? But you want to get really reflective, and you want to kind of double down on your strengths here. You want to have a wee think, like, you know what? I'm actually proud of these certain areas in my life, because see, when you fall into the trap of thinking like, what can I improve? It's like you need to put yourself in a position where your mind's like, oh, you're actually really good at doing things already. Therefore, you will have the belief. All right, because you need to believe in your own bullshit first and foremost. You actually need to back yourself. When you believe that you're already winning, then you're probably going to have a higher likelihood to set stronger, more solidified goals that are going to allow you to believe more in yourself, to push yourself out of your comfort zone and do things that are quite frankly scarier than what you would normally do if you were only marginalizing on the things that you're really bad at. So we'll definitely get really clear on a couple of areas and what you're really proud of from 2023. And then this is a really good one. I love inversion thinking. Right, and this is something I learned from a guy called Charlie Munger, who is like one of the best investors in the world. So, what do you need to stop in 2024? These questions are brilliant, because you can set all these big, audacious, scary, fun, exciting goals. That's great. But if you don't know what's going to, what you actually need to stop, then you can't actually step into this new time horizon, this new phase of life, this new reality of thinking, if you've still got all these negative habits that actually hold you back. Because as I touched on before, you behave your way to success. And you need to realise that this phrase, regret, is your biggest signal. Understand that regret is your biggest signal, and when you can actually remove the toxic vices, the negative habits, the poor beliefs, whatever it now may be, then you can almost like shed a layer of skin that's holding you back and step into this new identity, step into this new calling, step into this new kind of realm of thinking, and that's going to be phenomenal for you. So instead of thinking of what you need to do, think about what you don't need to do, or things that you should actually stop doing. So it could be like smoking, could be drinking. I've recently went sober, which I'm really proud of, and had the Christmas holidays there without drinking. I don't intend to drink. That's been like 9 weeks. So smoking, drinking, binge eating, missing workouts. Like, get a wee list of things that you just won't partake in anymore, things that you will not do anymore. Because if you get really clear on this, it means you'll have more weight, more power, more kind of trust in yourself to be like, right, that's just, I don't partake in that. It could be like bitching, could be negative self-talk, could be a wide variety of things. Because when you're in that contracted state, like one thing I speak about with a lot of my clients and a lot of you guys, it's like high frequency and low frequency. If you ever contract and find yourself in a low frequency state when the negative self-talk steps in, you start doing like the smoking, the drinking, the binge eating, missing workouts, etc. So you end up looking for happiness in the same place you're going to lose it. So making sure you're really clear on the things that put you in a contracted state and just avoid that. Because when you're in a contracted state, a low frequency state, the only thing that you now need to focus on is getting out of that. And that's why you need to have things that you need to be focusing on, higher value goals, higher frequency of living, things that now move the needle forward when it comes to you becoming the 2.0 version of yourself. So take that into consideration. So get a nice wee list, a wee kind of laundry list going down there, and that's going to put you in a phenomenal position. So step number 4, you've got 3 magic pockets. Okay, step 4, 3 magic pockets, and we're going to colour that in yellow. I'm feeling yellow for this one. Alright, boom. You got health, wealth, and relationships. Just to be honest, that's all people really want when it comes to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's like health, are you lean, strong, athletic, do you have a body you're actually proud of? Wealth, do you have enough, financial security, financial backing? Are you investing your money in good quality areas like mentorship, like the S&P 500, like stocks and shares, mortgages, whatever it may be, like appreciable assets? Relationships, do you have a strong, healthy relationship with your better half or those around you, friends, family, relatives, whatever it may be? Think about these 3 magic pockets and set yourself 3 little mini goals for these, like 3 health, and get clear on that. Boom, boom, boom. Wealth goals, boom. Could be like, for wealth, it could be like savings, investments, and wealth, savings, investments, and like this could even be a goal, like actually how much money, like put a constraint on us, how much money do you spend? Just even getting financial clarity, working out how much money goes out your bank every single month, and where you're lacking and where you're leading with that. Relationships, it could be setting a date night once per week. It could be actually being undistracted when chatting, so you're not on your phone, you're not watching telly, you're having deep one-on-one time. It could even be doing more things yourself. Because when it comes to relationships, like the value only increases and improves when the man or the woman has their own habits that they actually follow through on, their own hobbies that they actually go and do, rather than just being so bonded or binded at the hip that they're in each other's life 24/7, which becomes massively demanding and taxing. For health, it could be, hold a better shape, rather than cutting and bulking, getting fat, getting lean. It could be improve CV, like cardiovascular fitness, and it could also be like, sleep, sleep 8 hours. That's a basic one, because I know if you're going to have, better quality sleep, all of this other stuff's going to be easier. So again, these are just very rough goals that I just knocked off the top of my head right now. Your guys' goals might just be a little bit different. So step number 5. Let's get this a nice new colour. Let's go pink. Nice and fruity with a number. Nice pink colour here. So the theme, this is what we need to focus on here. The theme of 2024. This is where I like getting a little bit kind of philosophical here, a little bit kind of spicy, but the theme of 2024, this is where we speak about the I am identity. So creating the I am identity and solidifying your best self, this statement should help you feel, experience and understand who you're meant to be before it even happens, making it more likely for you to tap into the level of thinking required to reach this place. So let's say you start it off with this, like, I am Lewis McFarlane and lean, strong, and confident. I show up every single day with purpose. I never deviate from my habits, principles, and standards that allow me to be my very best version of myself. Every single quarter, I always set myself a fitness goal. I save my money in accordance with where I want to be financially, and I look to improve my relationship by having a date night once per week, having undistracted downtime with my partner, and really focusing on the quality of the time over the quantity of time. Each and every single day, I wake up knowing that I am and have everything that I already want and need inside me, and I trust myself enough to do the work. You kind of get where I'm coming from with this. It's like you set yourself a really powerful statement, or you could even just scrap all of that and just say the theme of 2024 is resilience. Boom, make it easier. Or relentless. Like relentless with your implementation, relentless with your attitude, relentless with your competence, relentless with your fitness, whatever it may be. I quite like having one core word as like the theme, and then writing myself a little kind of statement to ground myself, almost like a mission statement for that year ahead. It just, for me personally, it always works really well. Okay, we can move on from there. Step number 6. What are we thinking? Red again. Back to sexy old red. Okay, step number 6, you need one thing, make it a key priority. If you have more than one, you will struggle, right? So you'll choose one priority. What's going on here? A lovely time, a lovely time for my pen to die. I'm going to use my finger. For this, and if it doesn't work, well, we're all doomed because I'm not refilming this. That's not too bad. One priority, okay? And we'll highlight that in green. Boom, 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 boom. I honestly believe, right, if you can understand your priorities, you're going to have a far higher likelihood on achieving your goals. See, if you set too many goals, like I've given you subsections, little areas across the core 3 pockets, all this kind of stuff, this should almost be creating the identity anyway, but the person you want to be should have one core priority, one North Star to work towards. And because I'm a health and fitness coach, we're going to keep it health and fitness related. So let's say your one core priority is to improve your health, your well-being, your energy, your physique, like your priority is essentially you. You want to prioritize yourself. You want to get in the best physical condition of your life. You want to drop the fat, build the muscle, dial in your habits, your macros, your routine, and just become an absolute badass. Just become the best version of you. Because when you're your absolute best, the likelihood of you achieving goals with your relationship, your wealth, your finances, your business, your work, whatever it may be, will probably 10x. It just will be so much bigger. So let's say the priority is you. Get really clear on that. Okay, because if you spread yourself too thin and have too many different priorities, you won't focus on the one. So make one priority that you want to achieve. And the thing is, if you go all in on that and achieve it, then you can renounce it and move on to the next goal. So create one core priority that you want to focus on solely and just go hard on it. Just go really fucking hard on it, maximize it as much as possible and create that momentum. Create that momentum more than anything else. Tick that box. Once that box has been ticked, you can park it, maintain it, and move on to the next goal. I would always say that is one of the smartest things to do. Okay, so that's step number 6. Just focus on one thing. Next up, we have your next 90-day goal. Okay, 90 days. And this is quite an interesting frame, okay? 90 days is always going to be outcome. And then we have 30 days. Which is going to be process. Because see, when you think 90 days, you're like, I want to be here. Let's say, for example, you want to drop 10 kg in body fat. Right, okay, I get that. You want to drop 10 kilos of body fat, that's the outcome. Phenomenal. But then we need to match it with the process, which will be like, right, I need to, train 3 times a week, hit 10k steps every single day, nail my macros with 90% accuracy every single day, and nail that for the next 90 days, and you will, quite frankly, lose 10 kilos of body fat if everything's matched and aligned and working really well with you. But when it comes down to the 30 days, this is always going to be process first and then outcome. Okay. So with that being said, it'll be like, right, over the next 30 days, I will have nailed 15 gym sessions, 2 outdoor runs, tracked my macros daily, and I will sleep 8 hours per night. So again, you see is instead of focusing on the end, you're focusing on the daily actions. And that's what I really do believe, like with having not only big outcome goals like you're going to be setting for yourself when you're doing this, but having short little sprint goals that are process focused, because the process is everything. If you disregard the process, you'll either get to the end goal and just fall off and you won't really learn anything about yourself, or you'll just kind of aimlessly throw shit at a wall trying to see what sticks. But if you have a solid process in place, you're going to have a higher likelihood of following through on winning each and every single day. Because it's either one day or is it day one. Every single day I wake up and I think it's day one. It's the first day I have to achieve this goal. And every single day it's about compounding those effects day in, day out, day in, day out. And that's going to be far better for you when it comes to achieving your goal. And then you can break it down even further and be like, right, in that 30 days I need to lose 3.5 kilo and follow the plan, all those steps that I just touched on there. Really, really simple. So it's again breaking something big into something small, then smaller, then smallest, then micro. And again, you could break that 30 days down to 2 halves, two chunks of 15 days, and then to little week chunks and stuff, and then the process becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. Because a lot of people get overwhelmed thinking about this big audacious end goal and forget about these daily steps that actually will lead you to achieving it, it blows my mind, but I completely get it. I've been there before. So the last thing we're going to cover here today, which will be step number 8, I think by now, is list down 3 daily non-negotiables. Let's get a nice wee colour on that. Let's go for orange. Boom. 3 daily non-negotiables. Non-negotiables are things that you don't negotiate on. It's not letting me colour it in, guys. It's not letting me colour it in. Goddamn index finger. Right? 3 daily non-negotiables to follow through on no matter what. You don't bend, you don't break, you don't fold, you don't shake. You fucking hit these non-negotiables no matter fucking what. But, Christ, you've got to put in place maximum, sweet spot, and minimum standards. So maximum would be like you nail everything: training, nutrition, wake and sleep schedule, habits, steps, hydration. Everything is 100%, right? And that's on a good week, right? And the chances are we have the best week of our life every single week. Might not always happen, right? And then on a minimum week, let's say you're having a ball buster of a week. Things are really hard, work's stressful, you've had a fallout with your partner, financial pressure, you want to contract, you want to hide away from doing the work because it's easier. You seek comfort, On a minimum, let's say you still hit things with 70% accuracy. So that would be like, right, you maybe don't hit every session, but you hit 3 out of 5 sessions in the gym. You might not hit all your meals or all your macros, or they might not all be homemade meals, but you at least hit, breakfast and lunch and 1 meal out. Do you kind of get what I'm doing here? You breaking things down, making things a little bit more flexible, giving yourself a little bit of wiggle room. That's what you want to focus on here. So there's still non-negotiables. You're still setting non-negotiables for when you're at your best, when you're kind of doing okay, and when you're at your worst. You still fucking hit these non-negotiables. The things that you can control are the things you can control. So this could be like sleep as well. You can always control your sleep. Hydration's not really a task. You might have to lower your steps to like 8k over 10k, you might not be able to do that many. These are things you want to think about and actually understand that you can have flexibility. And then the sweet spot is going to be this kind of 80 to 90%, where you're not like absolutely the peak of the peak, or you're not in the dumpster fire position that you feel you would be in, even at a minimum. But what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is no matter where you're at, no matter what is happening, you've got the maximum, the minimum, and the sweet spot. And you can kind of like flow between them, almost like this kind of like little graph. You can kind of just glide between them, and you're gonna have this line through the middle, which is essentially progress. But if you can kind of be up here, or be down there, or be in the middle, you're still going to be making progress, even if it is by 1% every single day. So that would be it, guys, right? We scale back on all of this. This is how you nail your 2024 goal setting. Understand who you are now, and understand who you want to be. Get clear on that, visualize it. Who do you want to be proud of being? Get clear. Then we have your 9 subsections: your goals, standards, protocols, values, algorithms, beliefs, principles, behaviours, and skills. Then you need to kind of narrow it down to understand the ladder of progress, which is skill, will, and belief, or vice versa. You can slot them in, but if you're lacking one, the ladder will fall apart and you won't have any. Step number 2, be reflective. What are you actually proud of from this previous year? Get clear on that. Then flip it and understand what you actually need to leave behind in 2024. What do you need to stop? What do you need to get rid of? Okay, because regret is your biggest signal. So understand what needs to be renounced completely. Double down and dial in on your 3 pockets across health, wealth, and relationships, the core 3, the 3 things that most people tend to value in their life. And then set a theme, either a mission statement, I am identity, or just a one-line or a one-word statement that kind of dials you in and gets you excited. Set up one priority, one core goal to focus on. Make it absolutely everything. Dial it into a 90-day sprint, a 90-day push. Then break it down even further to a 30-day fail-proof plan of action so you can push forward with that. Then back it up with 3 daily non-negotiables that you will hit no matter what, despite what's happening in your life, and understand that you can float between maximum, minimum, and sweet spot standards to achieve that. So that's how I would set goals going into the new year. The main thing is to focus on here is these 9 little subsections though, because these are going to be absolutely everything when it comes to understanding the goals themselves and actually having a reason to follow through on them. I know this was probably not your normal goal setting worksheet when it's like, list your fitness goals, your mindset goals, your It's identity based goal setting, and when you understand who you are, what you want, the person who gets the result, the chances are you're going to have a higher likelihood of achieving any fucking goal that you want, because you're already acting like the person who has what you're looking for. It'll make everything so much easier. So guys, much love. I will see you in the next one, and if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear back from y'all. Okay, have a good 2024, and I'll see you all soon. So guys, thanks very much for tuning in on that video. I hope there was a lot of value you could extract from that. If you do have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. But I do think this is a really simple and smooth way to set goals, set intentions, and get clear on your identity for moving into the new year. If you enjoyed this, as I say again, please let me know. And if there's any clarification or deeper understanding behind anything I went through or why I went through it, then again, it's your opportunity to put your hand up and ask why. But guys, have an amazing new year when it comes. Much love, and I'll see you all soon.